if I can look at comments on here. Don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd go live again, a random live one. I might do some comments. So just on my phone. Is the speaker covered up? Hopefully you can hear me all right, but nobody knows I'm going live, so there'll be no one here, no doubt. But if you are, gives a little acknowledgement. That'd be nice. So I'm going to look at the comments I've had recently, and I'll answer some of them. That's what I'll do. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, God, I can see myself. That's weird. Oh, no, don't want that. So hopefully you can see me all right. And I've had a few comments, like I said. So this is a good one. Someone has... Hey, Mike, how you doing? Tom, how you doing? Am I clear? I know it's a bit... The light's a bit bad, isn't it? Just ask me any questions if you want. I'm going to do this. Bear with me. Because I think it's... riveting stuff, isn't it? That's got to be better, isn't it? Oh, there you go. Alec, waffle time. This is totally unplanned. Do you believe 3 hours of table magic for 300 is cheap? Yes, I do think 3 hours of table magic for 300. But saying that, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, if someone's saying to me tonight, I'll give you 300 quid to come and do it, I could do with 300 quid. So I might do it. And when you cut your prices, and I'm not saying that's the cut price for everybody. I've been doing this a long time, 30 years I started doing magic. I always say, well, as it's last minute, give them a reason. But yeah, I think so. But a lot of people go up for that, and that's fine. Not that bad sound. Good, because there's no mic at all. This is the point of these ones on shorts, isn't it? That you kind of just do them. So Magic Castle. I don't know when I'm at Magic Castle yet, Tom. I've been accepted, I believe, and I think next bit is to look at dates. I've got to send them an email and say that ideally it'll be thing. Oh, my first paid gig with a deposit. Yeah, Mike, go for it. I mean, I did my first paid gig. I did my first gigs unpaid. I think when you're starting out, just do as much as you can. Just do it, and then when you're going out a lot and you're super confident, and I'm not saying you're not confident. I think then you can start being fussy. But I sort of put my prices up a bit early. I kind of got away with it, but there was that more pressure on me. There was more pressure, and it kind of added something. So I think go and do it, and then, like I said, when you're confident, then you start putting your prices up. It's quite hard to put your prices up with the same client after a while, though. I have done it, but it can be a bit awkward. But no, I just get the oh, would you fly down, Tom? That's nice. Just get the flight time. Okay. I'm gonna do some comments because this is one that always interests me. I did a negative review a long time ago on a DVD, which was called, what was it called again? Oh, I haven't got my glasses on. Hang on. Designing Magic, right? And it's a DVD. The reason I reviewed it badly is because I got it sent to me and it was a very expensive DVD and I didn't think it would it was worth the money. So I did a negative review. But this is from Eliyahu. Oh no, gosh, that's terrible, isn't it? I hate getting names wrong. Eliyahu, I think. Apologies, that's not, I don't know how to pronounce that name. But it says, wow, I'm so surprised you actually have a negative review. You've given so many positive reviews to stuff we all know is trash, so this must be our rubbish. I haven't, have I? I hope I haven't. I don't think I've reviewed anything well that's trash, have I? I don't think so. As I've said many times, this isn't really a review channel. This is me finding stuff I like and talking about it. If it's a proper review channel, I'd get everything and slate a load of stuff. I don't know. I don't get the stuff is rubbish. And If I did get something that's rubbish, I'll definitely say so. But people that know that their stuff is good or good for a certain audience, I always say it isn't going to be appropriate for certain things or certain people. And if you like, what the negatives of a product are that I like, but I really only look for the good stuff in amongst all the trash rather than look. I ain't got time. Being honest and real is best. Yeah, it's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to find good stuff. There's plenty of people finding rubbish stuff, and to be honest, most most things, it's pretty obvious that they're rubbish. If they do the trick that they're supposed to do, if they're honest, you could. I'd say most things aren't rubbish if you can find a place for it. I mean, there's tricks that I've hated that I know are good for some people in certain situations, but it's people say there's a lot of trash out there, and there is, but you can see it pretty obviously. I think I don't think you need me to kind of go that thing's rubbish because it's a rubbish trick, but you might like it. Busking tips. Ask me a specific question about busking or apps, because we've got loads of tips. I'll be here forever. But I suppose I could be here for a long time, couldn't I? Because this is other thing. I don't know what that last word I said was. Have you seen Conjuring Lab's next product, the algorithm? No, I haven't. Because, do you know what I did last night? I went out on a gig and I only had a coin, a deck of cards, and my phone. Because there were phone things I wanted to try out. And if I had everything on me, I knew I wouldn't do it. So I did acronym from Conjuring Labs, and it went down great. It really did. It's a lovely thing to do, and it was the sort of gig you could kind of. Oh, that lead's bothering me. I haven't got ADHD at all. Sorry, squirrel. There was a. It's a sort of gig where I could sit with people. There's a lot of people, but a lot of them sitting on tables, and I sat with them and did it, and it was really good. I also did Name Forge, and I know I've talked about the similarities and the differences importantly of them. And I went out and did acronym and Name Forge. Both of them went great, and they felt very different to perform. One of them, you're going through this whole process. The other is they write something down and you show them the thing. So it feels very, very different. One of them is a prediction, one isn't. No, I'm not answering your question. The algorithm, I saw that they'd come out and I made myself not look at it because I'm overwhelmed with stuff to review digitally and non-digitally. So I thought I can't look at it because I'm going to want to do it. And so I will look at it. But does it look good? Tell me if it looks good, Sam, for the magician. And I might have a look at it. As a new trick for hire, why and any card at any number? What's that? Oh, is that what? Oh, God, I don't start new. Why any card at any number? Yeah, I don't understand the question. Sorry, that's me, not you. I'm very tired. Tips for someone planning to switch from close-up to stage magic. Right, okay. It's a funny story. It's not really close up to stage, but when I went from street performing to stage, here's a non-tip. Don't do this. Lots of people do this. When I was street performing, I was doing big circle shows, and you spend the first 10 minutes building an audience. And when I went on stage on a cruise ship, I'd never really been on stage. I did the whole crowd building, not exactly, but I was trying to hype them all up before it all started. It was awful. Don't do that. The close up to stage, I think all you've got to have in your mind is, does the trick play out and can they see it? That isn't obviously all you've got to have in your mind, but I think specific tricks, you can do stuff with normal sized cards in certain venues and have someone on stage. You can even do stuff with rings because they're the eyes and ears of the audience. Loads of people do linking rings. I've done ring flight on stage and just hold it up. Is the ring there? It's not perfect. But I think have that thing of just, does it play out? When you're doing the trick, can you talk to them? It sounds obvious, but you see a lot of people down here. So that's why a lot of people do ropes, because it's happening there. They're kind of, it's framed here. Some card to pocket, like Francis Carlisle's homing card, where it's great for stage because you're looking at them through the whole thing. You do a little bit here, but the revelation is here. And I think The cups and balls works great because yes, it's on a table, but you're playing it out. There are all those chop cup, anything like that. So I think just have that in your mind, and don't get bogged down in the detail of the trick. I think you've got to be a lot more general when you're on stage. Mentalism plays great because it always plays so big. And sleight of hand, just make sure they can kind of see what's going on. And make sure you're well lit. And I know on a stage at a corporate and stuff, you're probably going to be all right, but actually not a lot of the time. So when I get booked for stage, if it's a kind of informal thing, I just say to them, just make sure they can see me. Make sure that they can see clearly that end of the room, because in a lot of informal gigs where you're doing stage, they kind of set something up quickly and they don't think about the lights. So you've got this dull, dim light. So have a look at that. There's loads of stuff. Do I currently have a magic mentor? Do I currently have a magic mentor? I mean, I was talking to Pete Wardell today. He's always a bit of a mentor. We kind of help each other out. It's weird. It's like nearly everybody I know is, to a certain extent. I had a chat with Chris Rawlins the other day. We don't usually chat, but I was talking to him about presentations of mentalism effect, and we had a bit of a chat there. So that was a bit of a sort of mentory type session. Lots of people, like Philo, talking to him about the tech stuff. He's been really helpful. Paul Brook has been, but this is not like we're sitting down and they're mentoring me, but we have chats. And I think a lot of that happens. My mentor for a while, quite recently, was Steve Reynolds, because we had Zoom sessions and he coached me. I sort of paid him to coach me, and that was great. I'm not doing lots of card stuff at the moment. Saying that, I did perform a trick from John Gastafero's new book a couple of times at gigs recently, which is a self-working trick pretty much, and it's an absolute corker, if I do say so myself, from Nth Degree, which is out very soon, I think, if not right now. But no, I don't at the moment, and it would be nice to have one. What I am looking for is a director for the routine I'm working on, so I suppose that's a similar thing. Have a big pocket full of money, a big truckloads of help, and a bigger expense overhead for large stage stuff. Yeah, that's a good tip. Yeah, very much so. I have several from different magician skills. Yeah, and a mentor. It's I think it's nice to have one mentor, but there's a really good book on mentoring. Oh, it's not Robert Greene, is it? I don't think, but But one of the things it says about mentors is that always be prepared to change them. It sounds weird, but a good mentor will know when you're ready to kind of move on. Or you have different mentors for different things. So I think it can be quite dangerous having one mentor, because especially if you're younger, because you tend to kind of really lock into their way of thinking, which I've had before, not with people like that, but which can be quite influential in a bad way. I think you've got to keep very, very open. What's Jerry Sadowitz like at Card Magic? Could he be your mentor? No, Jerry Sadowitz doesn't like me. I sent him an email when he was in Sheffield saying, "Oh, it'd be nice to meet you." And I got a reply that was saying no in many words. So I don't think he likes me very much, but he's very good at card magic. He's a stunning magician. I don't really like his show very much when I saw it, but there you go. Yeah, so I'll tell you what's good. Stage by Stage by John Graham is a great book if you're moving from close up to stage as well. That's got some great tricks in it, but also loads of good advice. So if you're really thinking about moving from close up to stage, that book is kind of about that. So definitely have a look at that. But the trick I did from Nth Degree is one of the rare times that I've read the trick, not tried it, and then just tried it at a gig. I tried it like last week, and I did it last night after my Ace production, and it's a sort of semi-self-working production where they do everything. So you hand them the deck, it's completely hands off. They do all the cutting and everything, and then you turn over the top card of each pack, and it's an ace. It's great. Flipped Over Productions. Leonard Green is my biggest inspiration, and I know he's respected, but it seems like there's not many who have followed up his style and used his sleights as a core part of their work. Well, I made a trailer. I made a film for my lecture recently that I show at the end of my lectures, and I was lucky enough to meet Leonard Green and do a gig with him when I just started out in magic, and he taught me stuff and gave me permission to teach the I never remember it when I have to. What's it called? Alec, help me out. I always talk about it on Tom. You know, the Lengrees, when you fly it off the deck and catch it. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. I've been up since 6. But yeah, and the snap deal. He gave me permission to teach that. I teach that on my course. We did a live session on that. Top Shot. There you go. So I think, why don't many people follow? I think his style was very idiosyncratic to him. It's very him. I think people do similar styles in that kind of slightly bumbling way, but his slides, interestingly, his slides look so difficult. I don't think they're as difficult as they look. I think they're way more, thanks Alec, I think they're made way more doable than you think. I mean, I'm a juggler, so I love getting my teeth into something difficult, but actually I think that snap deal, as long as your angle's right, you can do quite slowly. The Top Shot, if you've got the right tips. I've taken quite a lot of people with a Top Shot who struggle with it and given them a couple of tips and they get it. It's because it's a slow move. The card moves quickly, but your hands move quite slowly. And when you get your head around that, yeah, Markoby's a good, really good, good example. But anyway, I'll finish what I was saying. When you get your head around the slowness of the move, it's not a quick move. It's not as hard as you think, and I think a lot of his stuff's like that. Yes, so Markoby's definitely a kind of Leonard Green type performer in that kind of unassuming way. His bumbles are interesting, intentionally done. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Flip Table Productions says, I agree, Markoby has some out of Leonard Green. Tim, I agree, Leonard Green slides are totally doable. That's why I wonder why they aren't more commonly used. Yeah, I think a lot of people do the quite a lot of people do the Top Shot. I think it's nerve-wracking, the Top Shot. You want to go there. Top Shot if you haven't got a table, because I know I've missed a Top Shot so many times. It's not the end of the world. You pick it up and get on with it, don't you? And know that you've wasted that moment. But yeah, I think the truth of the matter is that a lot of magicians don't want to practice a lot. It's just the way it is. You know, that's why on the marketing of some tricks it says no sleight of hand, as if that's a good thing. That's not for me. Not that I don't love the old easy trick. I'll do loads of easy tricks, but I like that is a selling, you know, and I get why people that aren't magicians would want to buy a trick like that, but for me, it's part of it. It's what makes you a magician or a juggler or a musician or anything, is the fact that you practice and you learn stuff that other people can't do without the practice. So I did, and Tom does the Rosetta Shuffle. That's great, the Leonard Green Shuffle. So there's some. Yeah, I think the other thing is with Leonard stuff is that there was a DVD set which I actually really liked, but it's quite sort of rustic and basic, not the moves and the magic. And then the EMC Luis de Matos bought out the collection of Leonard Green, which is great. So maybe, you know, that's $100 DVD. Maybe a lot of people don't want to buy that. It's a strange thing, isn't it, when his DVDs are like $100 and it sounds a lot, but there is so much on them. There's a career's worth of stuff on each of those things. So compare it to tricks, I think it's an absolute bargain. But I think people are a little bit more reticent. And in Lewis, I don't think yet does downloads. He's quite like, he likes the DVD format. So that might put people off as well. Ashley Goodwin also performs a few Leonard Green slides. Great. From Alex Schregel. Yeah, so, well, I'm going to put a performance on now. I put it on from Declassified by Chris Rawlings. And as I said in the review, I know that I've just done a Chris Rawling thing, but I got it and it was so easy that I wanted to put it on. It's not a great performance, let's be honest, but it's me doing it. I'll put it on now. Have a look at it. It's quite funny. Yeah, the guy was really impressed, but you know, with mentalism, it just kind of, it has an effect on people sometimes where you don't get that. Yeah, you get a kind of odd. So it looks like he wasn't that into it, but he was. So I've just put that on. A performance of Chris Rawlings' new trick, which is, again, super easy. But I enjoyed it. I did it, so I wanted to review it while it was still fresh in my head. So, yeah, have a look at that after. It's only a few minutes long. No worries. You're absolutely welcome. I believe I can grow 75,000 on my first official season out. Not that I'm planning doing 250 shows for 300 quid to get there, $300 to get there. I could do 75,000, please. Uh, have you received the unliftable light heavy deck for review? Looks like fun. No, I didn't, and I saw that, and I had a rule that even though I did come back from Liverpool, Blackpool with loads of stuff, I'm purposely not trying not to get too much to review at the moment because I just have quite a lot to be getting on with. most of those you won't be able to read it say to review on there, and there's other ones under my table. So I am starting to lose sleep a little bit because I've got too much on. But I'm making sure I practice every day and train every day, and and that's kind of getting in the way of things. But I'm 50 and I'm realizing that there's certain routines I might die before I do. So I'm going to prioritize training so I can be a better magician for people on the course as well and kind of know more stuff. Have I seen Gordon Bruce perform? I have not. I've heard legend of his stuff, but I've never met Gordon. I've only been up to Glasgow once, so I haven't, but I'd love to. Ben L is overrated, says Charles Carter. That's your opinion. I shall not comment on such a thing. But no, but I bet, this is a long old waffle, isn't it? So I'm going to go now. Have a look at that review. Oh, while you're here, do have a look at my performance on Chasing Rabbits TV. I very rarely put a full performance on anything, but because it's mostly for magicians, I have. So have a look on Chasing Rabbits TV. I'll put a link below. Yeah, I'll put the link below the next review that I'm going to put out now. I'll put the performance out of Declassified, and I'm going to put the review out of Declassified now, and then that's that. And then tomorrow, what day is it? Tomorrow I'll see some of you on the live session, onlinemagic.co. If you're not a member yet, have a look at that. If you get your membership now, $9.99 a month, you can come on a live session tomorrow because you'll get the Zoom link tomorrow. Excuse me. Do you invest in any other magic memberships? Hard to keep track of them. Am I at the moment? No. For that very reason, I just haven't got time. When I'm a member of Magic Membership, it's usually to review it, and I've done a couple, but I just haven't got time. I'm really struggling time to. I do 2 hours a day practice, physical practice in a studio, an hour on the Lincoln rings, an hour on the juggling stuff I want to put into the show. I do got loads of admin at the moment. Members of my course will know that I haven't been in touch as much. We still do the Thursday sessions, which I had to miss last week because of a lecture. But yeah, it's just full on. So the Discord of the course I haven't been on, but that's kind of normal. So, but do email me and I'll always get back to you. But the other Magic memberships, no, I really want to look at stuff. Yes, do you know what I love is anything by Danny Goldsmith. So it's membership stuff I don't get a chance to look at very much, but it's great. But the downloads, which I know isn't really answering the question, but if I'm going to look at anything at the moment, it's that, because I'm really enjoying the coin stuff. And Luch's My Mind Rocks, I think it's called, because it's I'm getting into the idea of performing mentalism and getting better at it. So that's great. That's really good. And I do have a look at that every now and then. I'll keep going, shall I? Thanks for staying. Best advice for getting new gigs from a cold start. Everybody says it. Nobody wants to do it, and I've avoided it. If you want to get gigs, go out and do magic. There is no better way. A website isn't better. Good marketing, social media, it kind of helps to have something to fall back on. I would say Instagram's probably more useful than a website at the moment. Obviously, you need a website. But just people seeing you perform, and I think the effect of magic on people can only be experienced live. It can't really, you can see it on video, of course, and see people responding, but it's like stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy doesn't really work on video as well. It's great, some of it, and there's some downloads that I love, but most of it doesn't really work. And I think it's the same with magic. I think you've really got to experience it. So go into places. It's weird. It feels horrible at first, but I've got so many gigs from when I've done. I haven't done it often because I don't like doing it. It feels really weird. But when I've been reviewing stuff, I've got in and done something to review, and people have booked me. And second to that, get footage of you actually performing, not like a sizzle reel where you've got loads of cuts because people can't get a feel for you. So get out and show people tricks, give people business cards. If people seem genuinely interested, get a business card off them. So if you got them, do you mind if I email you in a couple of weeks, tell you what I'm doing? I think that's the best thing you can do. It's everybody says it, and it's an uncomfortable thing. But yeah, all the cold calling and all that does work as well. If you cold call someone, and networking does work because you're showing them magic. If you're cold calling someone, always try and get a meeting with them, even if it's on Zoom. Just say, look, I'll come and see you for 10 minutes and show you something, rather than try and sell the idea of it. It's such a difficult thing to get across. Did you ever perform optics? Get some sleep. I shall at some point. Did you ever perform optics? Stephen Murphy, it's up there. I've got a book. Oh no, it's right there. I've got a box called Sleight of Hand Wish List, and it's the tricks that I haven't got round to really perfecting yet that I want to. I've shown it a few people a few times. It's so brilliant. I want the second version of it. There was a second version of it where the button was a bit better. Mine's a bit weird, and I've got porky thumbs, so it's, if you know optics, you'll know that can be an issue. So I want to get the new version, but I can't justify it at the moment. But no, I've shown it a couple of people. I really want to do it again. I think it's one of the best things. So yeah, maybe that's something I could make myself do. All right. Yeah, Love Girls, he was brilliant. And he came on the course, didn't he? You can have a look at it if you didn't see it. David Ross Easy Coin Tricks and learning from watching rope work through fibre optics. Amazing. Yeah, so absolutely brilliant. Fibre optics is a stunner, and David Ross stuff's just great. What happened between Craig Petty and Everything Magic Pro? I don't know. I didn't see the videos. I think Every Magic Pro, Scott's, whatever he's called, second name, can't remember what his name is, slagged Craig off and said some really hurtful things. And Craig quite rightly was quite upset about it. But I don't know the story. I try not to get involved too much in all that. I get the odd snarky comment. I read one of them earlier, but yeah, it's something that I think if you add fuel to it, it gets worse. I think the best way is just to. I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like it, so I'm not. It takes me quite a lot to get riled up. I might do privately, but to start it's something that doesn't sit easy with me, and it's something that I can't deal with very well, which is probably why I end up being a performer, so try and make people like me. That's a rabbit hole, it certainly is. Best resource to think through developing a set, currently pulling one together for a local IBM. I always think, go with what you know. The tendency, well, for me anyway, is to, when I put together stuff, I could do this new thing. Go with what you know and just perform the tricks you know. It's different for me because my brain I'm not very good at kind of scripting and stuff. So I just go out and do tricks I like and then try and find a thread. I also do a lot of thinking. This sounds really weird. I've been doing this a lot recently. Of actually purposeful thinking, not with bits of paper or anything, but you've got to do that. That's a really important part of it. Write down the tricks. You might see connections. Less is more. You never need as many tricks as you think you do. But I've started. I go and I practice, and then sometimes I do a yoga class. It's very 2024 a minute, and then I sit for 10 minutes in the sauna and the spa where I go and think, and I think specifically of the routines and think, what could I do with that and that and that. It sounds really obvious, but we don't tend to do that. We tend to think about stuff when we're walking along or doing other things, but to just sit and have that and think about nothing else but that. It's amazing what happens, and it's something I've done so little of. Stifle is an anagram of itself. Very good. Not that it's feasible to do table to table only doing rope, but there is enough material on fibre optics. It could be done. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes I do one trick at a table if it's a 5-minute trick. Absolutely fine. Did it loads last night. Writing script is rough. Yeah, less is more. Don't write word for word. Actually, some of you will want to do that, and that will suit you. It doesn't me. I think get an idea and then write a script, but know that you deviate from it. Don't add that to your thing of, I've got to remember the trick and every single word of the script. For me, that's a killer. Find that my spontaneous reaction and quick wit save me often. Yes, that can do that as well. We're all different. Some people I know just need that thing of a strict script. I cannot remember them for the life of me, even if I've written them. So I have to script, understand that I'm going to forget half of it, and then build it gradually. But I've been here for 30 minutes, having a good old waffle. Thanks for watching. Should I do more of these? I didn't see Roy Wharton perform. I was going to meet him before he died. He gave me permission to teach a few things, which was so lovely of him. But no, one of my regrets. Anyway, I'm going to go because it's been 30 minutes. Well done, everyone. If you want to see more of these, do ask me questions. Email me, steve@onlinemagic.co. Do us a favour. Everything, if you watch stuff on my channel, lovely when I get comments. I know it's hard. I don't answer them all, but I do try my best. Most of the scripted stuff to me seems, but if it's over scripted, it's got to be entertaining. It's got to be engaging, isn't it? That's what some people forget. Just having a script isn't enough. But have a look at that thing I've just put up, Declassified, and watch the review. And thank you for all your support. I'm going to go. If you want more of these, let me know on the comments under this or under any of the reviews, or if you've got any specific questions you want me to talk about. And I'll just go live at random times, and if you want to watch it afterwards, of course, that's great. Right. Take care, everyone. How do I do this? See you later. Bye.